Yes, welcome back guys now for the pouring part. So now we will be discussing about the pouring part. In the last session we have discussed about how to do the placements and all, placement of the wood, how important it is to do the placements. So after the placement is done, after your wood is fixed to the base of your mold, so now we are looking for the fun part, which is the pouring of the resin or pouring of the epoxy part. So as we have already discussed how we have to prepare your resin. I told you how you have to prepare. You have to, like, separately I have to do the resin, the hardener. If you want to mix the color, you have to mix it in the resin. Mix the color in the resin, and then you have to add the hardener, and then you know the process. 200 times clockwise, 200 times anti-clockwise, and towards the walls of the container that you are putting it in for mixing, towards the wall of the container. And after that, if it is thoroughly mixed, you will come to know 200 times anti-clockwise, 200 times clockwise. So after that, you have to just pour that mixed solution or mixed quantity of resin and hardener into another container, just to get it more perfectly, so that we don't have any doubt of if there is some resin or is not properly mixed. So then you have to pour it in the other container and do the same thing, same process of 200 times and clockwise, 200 times anti-clockwise. So that is already prepared now. So I just know that we know this thing. Now this is the process of mixing of the resin. So after the mixing of the resin is done, once your placement is done, your mold is done, the placement of the wood is done, everything is taken care of. Now this is the time you have to go and prepare your resin, which I already discussed. So I already told you how. So after the preparation is done, so now it is the time to do your pouring. So now about pouring also, now there is also a way to do the pouring. You just cannot, I told you about calculations and all, how you have to calculate how much quantity you will be needing. There are apps available, so you just have to put the dimensions of your thickness. Everything will be mentioned in inches, and like everything will be asked, and you just have to feed it, and you will just get the quantity how much you will be needing, because it is already it will be provided to you from the apps, and there are a lot of apps on your app store or Apple stores. So once you know the quantity also, so quantity has to be determined there. So now the second thing is, always remember, if you are doing a project of a thickness of 2 inches, or maybe just let's take, you are doing a project of 1.5 inch. So 1.5 inch, that means we cannot do it in one go. We cannot just directly pull the thickness altogether because it is a lot of quantity, that is and as I told you, this once the process of the curing process once the reaction between these two chemicals starts, it is a violent process. There are a lot of fumes. There is basically it's kind of, there is a lot of fight in between. So that there is a lot of heat that is generated, a lot of fumes. The fumes are generated, and there is a lot of violence at the micro level. So what happens is, if you do more pores, like if you do like entirely to like 2 inches pour at a single pour at a single time, so there will be a lot of quantity that is engaged in this. So there will be a lot of heat generated, and there will be a lot of violence. So it will just not contain that so much of energy. So what happens is, there are a lot of boils, there are bubbles, and they are like violent bubbles. They will come up. It will not also cure properly. So that is the reason why we don't do it in one pour. At least in India, there are in Europe and all, they have this kind of resins which are evolved now. They can do a pour up to 5 inches to even 12 inches in one pour, because there is much evolved. It's more sophisticated, their resin. if we compare our resin, what is available here, to theirs, we are just like Maruti car, and they are on Mercedes level right now. It is a difference. Their quality is much different than ours. Plus their climate and all, this is all, it plays a vital role. So basically you have to remember that we have to do it in small pores, small less pores. So what we do usually, what is the standard procedure is that we have to not do more than half inch. So if you are doing 1.5 inch thickness, so we have to do it in three pores. So one pore will be half inch, then second half inch, and then third half inch. So that will be 1.5 inch. So basically remember, at a single pore should be half inch. The thickness should be half an inch. So now if you are doing 1.5 inch thickness for a project, so now we have, so for example's sake, so we have to do it in three pores. We have to do it in three pores. So now the preparation, your preparation of your resin should be for half an inch. So we are doing it in half inch, half inch. So in three pores we will be doing it. So just prepare a resin of that will be sufficient for just half inch of your entire project. So prepare that. And what you have to do is, now you just have to do the pouring, which is a very fun process. What we usually do is we just pour it in a snake position, in a zigzag position. If we have a project here with two woods, so during the pour we just do it in zigzag fashion, so that it is just easy for the resin to just go at the ends, to just fall towards the end, just fill in the gap. So like zigzag here, and start from the sides also. Just do your pour start from the sides, and then come in the main center or the main area of your pour. Start from your sides and then come in your main area, which is your main. In this case, let's take we are doing a pour of two. We are doing a pour in between two woods. So now you do your pour at the end, slight pour at the end, start at the end, and then finish it in the center, in a zigzag position, in a snake position. So that empty your solution, empty your resin. But please make sure, there is another thing, very important thing is, once you empty your pour, empty your resin, so don't just spill it, just don't like fully empty it. There will be some at the end, there will be some resin left. I'll just, if this is your container, if you're just pouring it, see, if you can see here, it's already layered, because we don't use the leftover, which is, it will be like a small quantity that will be at the end. So don't use that one, because that is, most of the time it is not cured, but the hardener is gone with the resin from the top only. So at the end, sometimes that the end resin, it is not fully covered with the hardener. So what happens, it does not cure the way we want it. So that is the reason why just throw off the leftover resin, the end resin which is left. Just don't fully empty it. Just like, don't scrape it and remove it. So just remember that. So once your pour is done, take a spatula or take something. In our case, we take cards and all. Just take something straight and just like because it will. Your first pour will be the entire surface will not be covered. So make sure, use your hand, because you will be putting gloves and all. Just make sure your resin is travel to the entire place. Just make sure, just place it. Just help the resin to, because resin will self level. It will just find the leftover area and just self level and just fall into places. But then again, just help your resin to just fall to the places that you want it to fall. So just use your hand or just use something, maybe spatula or card or whatever. Just do your placement. Just let the resin pass. Just let the placement of resin be accurately like towards the entire project. So like if there is some resin left here, if there is more depth here and less depth here, just make it flow that side. Just help your resin to actually fall in place and fall accurately in your fall into a level. Obviously, I told you have to, first of all, before even starting your project, you have to level your project. The table should be leveled, everything should be leveled. After the level is taken care of, everything is taken care of, when you do your pouring, it just falls into place. But sometimes what happens, you don't even realize there are ups and downs. So during that time, it is a bit difficult. So that is you have to take care of leveling. So if your level is correct, once you pour, it just falls into place. So that is the most important thing about leveling and all, because leveling is very important. If leveling is not done, the flow will be affected, the level will be affected, and end of the day your project will be affected. It will come crooked, or it will be a lot of headache afterwards. So that is the reason why leveling is important, and the first pour is done. So let's assume your resin is just reached to the entire surface, your empty surface. After that is reached, so you will just see it will be there will be a lot of froth kind of a thing, and there will be a lot of bubbles there, and you will be just don't there is no need to panic here. But there will be a lot of bubbles when you just pour, because it has a pressure. When you're pouring it had a bit of pressure. So with pressure, it came in contact with the environment and all, empty space, and the bubble were created. So it's not a big deal. When you were even during a mixing process, there were bubble created. So that is not a big deal. Now latest in India also, we have like developed a lot of the recent resins which are available in the market also. They highly developed now than the previous one. Now they like really take care of the bubbles, so we don't come across bubbles as such the way we used to come during our time. So now bubble and all, everything is taken care of. There are like very minimum bubbles that come. But during your pour, there will be bubbles, visible bubbles. They will just come out. Just wait for some time. They will just disappear. They will just come out and pop out and disappear. But there will be some stubborn bubbles which will take time to be busted. They'll not go so easily. They will be there. And there is another thing which is called micro bubbles. Micro bubbles are bubbles which are not visible, but they are there. They are there like a small army of bubble on your entire resin body. So they are micro bubbles. Even if you do not see them, they are there. And what they do, they come together slowly during the process of heating, during the process of this chemical reaction. They are there. They just come together slowly, and they just form a huge bubble. And when your surface is hardened, sometimes it just will surprise you. It will not have place to come out. So it will just surprise you. It will just occur inside, and that will give rise to a big bubble. And even if not that, the micro bubbles at the end of your project also, even if you have not seen that, then there was no problem of big bubbles. There will be this bed of micro bubbles. When your project will be done, when you see it in the light or sunlight or in a showroom, there will be a layer of micro bubbles. Small micro bubbles, but it will just affect your work. So the micro bubbles, it's a big issue. So to get rid of micro bubbles is, you have to, after you do your pouring, what you have to do is do your